It's Thursday night in the Coast to Coast Racing League Ultimate Dirt TV and Coast to Coast Racing Network welcome you to the Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. Tonight, the 358 Modifieds are up on the program first, and then of course we will have the big block Modifieds. The doubleheader here tonight on the dirt side of things before the asphalt side will finish off the nightcap here. Tonight, the first two races will be at Lincoln Speedway here in Pennsylvania. Round number one. We'll have four heat races on the program for tonight. We'll move into a consolation race, a quick little warm-up session, and then a 30-lap main event. Good evening, race fans. Brett Wheeler with you for the call as we get set. No qualifying on the program for tonight. It is straight from the practice session, from the warm-up, right into heat racing action. Looking forward to night number one. Week number one. Get a big thank you to, of course, Coast to Coast Racing Network, as you can check them out on the World Wide Web at Coast to Coast Racing or C2CRL.com. And of course, if you are looking for other racers that enjoy racing without the drama and the name calling of normal iRacing, come out and join the Coast to Coast Racing League. From 22 divisions that race 6 days a week, and currently broadcast 11 of those divisions. Members know they are a part of something bigger than just the on-track experience. Head over to C2CRL.com, click on apply and join in the action. Heat race number one, let's take a look at your starting grid. Thanks to Flatline Bodies. And from the pole position, it's going to be Brian Beam on the outside of the front row for Can-Am Racing Team. Driving the 513 machine, it is Jeff Barker. Rolling off out of position number 3, Daniel Blau on the 17 machine from position number 4. Driving the Wild Gosselin Racing car number 13 from position 4. That is Cullen Johnston. Jonathan Krupa lines up at a position number 5. Malachi Smith from position number 6. And Kelly Wheeler lines up at a position number 7. Heat race number 1 brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Ready to go racing here at the Lincoln Speedway. Thursday Night Thunder. In the 358 Modified Series, we are green as we head down into turn number 1 for the first time. Doubleheader here tonight at Lincoln Speedway. Look out, the 339 machine of Brian Beam got a little crossed up as we got some contact. One car upside down on the back straightaway. Stay green, leading lap number 1 is going to be Jeff Parker, Daniel Blau in the second machine, Cullen Johnston to round out the top 3. 4 heats on the program. Malachi Smith back to the pit area as we continue to work down into turn number 3 and 4. Barker, Blau, Johnston, Krupa, Wheeler. Then you go back to Beam for the 6 cars left on the track. 7 cars in heat race number 1. Daniel Blau. Here he comes in that 17 machine, looking with a whole head of steam as they work down into turn number 3. Going to the bottom side, protecting is Barker in the 790 machine, but now here comes Blau once again trying to get a run in the middle of turn number 1 and 2. Halfway home at the completion of this lap. 4 down, 4 to run. Barker, Blau nearly side by side as they go down to the bottom is going to be Barker. Blau now swoops around the outside as they work down the back straight away. You battle for the lead. The Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Series 358 Modifieds, and it's going to be a new race leader at the line. Daniel Blau in the 17 machine. Barker now, he moves up a line on the racetrack. Trying to follow in line with that 17. Daniel Blau, 2 to run at the start-finish line. Barker, Johnston, then you go back to Krupa, Wheeler. 3 cars battling for positions 3, 4, and 5, but we continue to stay focused on this battle up for the front 2 positions. Blau leaving the door open for the inside for Jeff Parker to try and sneak back up on the inside. They come to turn number 1 and 2. White flag is out. 1 lap left to run. Who's going to get the job done in heat number 1? To start on pole of tonight's 30-lap main event. Inside goes Barker at the line. Oh, there was a lap car. A lap car. Brian Beam was around, facing the wrong way. And a very, very close call for heat race number 1. Your Flatline Racing Bodies, heat number 1. We will have to wait for your official results to come up. We wait for those results to be official. They will be official now. Results coming up on screen. Daniel Blau gets the win, 0.062 of a second over Jeff Parker. Cullen Johnston in third. Kelly Wheeler fourth. Brian Beam rounds out the top five. Jonathan Krupa and Malachi Smith will come home in position number 7. Heat number 2 brought to you by Langton Mechanical. Bob DeGood lines up on the pole position. Isaac Salas from position number 2. From position at number 3, it's Patrick Spangler. Position number 4, Jason Butterfield. Dylan Kinsey out of position number 5. Greg Boydell, position number 6. And Logan Wentz lines up from position number 7. Langton Mechanical heat race number 2. 8 laps on the board. The second of 4 heat races here at the Lincoln Speedway in Pennsylvania. Green flag is out. Heat number 2 brought to you by Langton Mechanical is underway. Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunders. They go 2 by 2 by 2 down through turns 1 and 2. It's going to be Isaac Salas to the race lead. But I'll tell you what, DeGood trying to work back to the middle of the racetrack. And now here comes Patrick Spangler as they go side by side. Butterfield to the outside and Spangler almost 3 wide down into the first and second turn. Here comes Butterfield. Butterfield and Butterfield. Contact upside down. Problems. Couple of cars involved in that one on the back straightaway. In fact, that nearly took out half the field. Salas, your race leader from Patrick Spangler. He has got a 1 second advantage already, Isaac Salas. Spangler in that 39 machine. In the runner-up position, Logan Wentz in 4th. Dylan Kinsey sitting in 4th position. Then a fair way back. Back to Jason Butterfield in the 93 machine. No yellows in heat racing competition. We continue to stay green in heat race number 2. Boydell and DeGood rounding out the field. There is your race leader in the 5 machine. Isaac Salas. He was good on the bottom side a couple of laps ago. He was about to 1 second advantage right now. He is opened up to 1.5 seconds over Patrick Spangler in the 39 machine. 3 to run for your race leader of Isaac Salas, Patrick Spangler, Logan Wentz, Dylan Kinsey, Jason Butterfield, your top 5, Greg Boydell, then Bob DeGood. The 7 cars, heat race number 2. Your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder, 358 modifieds. We'll have the big block modifieds up later on this evening after our 30-lap main event is complete here from Lincoln Speedway. Huge thanks to, of course, the wonderful sponsors and supporters of this entire organisation. But the white flag is out. 1 lap left to run for your race leader as he works down into turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag is out. Isaac Salas in car number 5 gets the win. Patrick Spangler will hold on to position number 2. Just third at the line is going to be Logan Wentz. And you go back to Dylan Kinsey, Jason Butterfield. Followed by Greg Boydell and Bob DeGood. They will be your finishers in heat number 2. Let's quickly take a look at your official results for heat 2 before we move in to the top-notch trucking heat race number 3. Isaac Salas, Patrick Spangler, Logan Wentz, Dylan Kinsey, Jason Butterfield, Greg Boydell and Bob DeGood. The 7 cars in heat number 2. Heat number 3, thanks to top-notch trucking. On the pole position, it'll be Paul Thompson. To the outside of the front row, Jacob Mosso from position number 2. Michael Vecchio out of position number 3. Dean Reynolds of Full Throttle Motorsports 790 machine from position number 4. Zach Chapman from position number 5. Position number 6, Joe Mosso. And Connor Ross lines up out of position number 6. Heat number 3 of 4 on the night. Heat 3, in fact. I will get that one right. Green flag is out. Heat 3, 8 laps is the distance. There are some problems right there for Paul Thompson in that 337 machine. Problems for Michael Vecchio in the 00 machine. Reynolds trying to come after Jacob Mosso for the race lead. Battle is on for third, fourth, and fifth position. Chapman, Mosso, and Ross. Reynolds still runs in the second position as we've already completed 2 laps past the start-finish line. This time by, and it is Jacob Mosso in the 61 machine out in front. Reynolds still runs in the runner-up position, but here comes Zach Chapman looking to close in as they work down into 3 and 4. 5 to run for Mosso. That's Jacob Mosso. Joe Mosso runs in 4th. Chapman still holding down that 3rd spot on the racetrack. Halfway home, cross flag sticks around. 4 down, 4 to run. Track starting to get a little bit slick as they work down into turns 1 and 2, right through the middle of the racetrack. Still a fair bit of moisture as they work off the exit of turn number 2. And that's again slick down into turn 3. And you can see patches there all the way on the entry into turn number 3. Here comes Connor Ross trying to come after Joe Mosso for that 4th and 5th position. 2.5 to run as they go down the back straightaway. A 35 of Connor Ross. Sending it upstairs into turn 3, trying to get a run, but 2 laps left to run for your race leader. Jacob Mosso in that 61 machine. Dean Reynolds is close. 0.3 of a second as they work down the back straightaway. Mosso is good down the back stretch into turns 3. And again, he puts the right rear in the fluffy stuff upstairs. White flag is out. 1 lap left to go. Heat race number 3, thanks to Top Notch Trucking as they worked into 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway for the final time. It's going to be Jacob Mosso. He'll protect on the bottom side. Here comes Dean Reynolds looking to get around on the outside on the exit of turn number 4. Not going to have enough. Jacob Mosso will get the win in heat number 3 thanks to Top Notch Trucking. Second will go to Dean Reynolds. Third at the line is going to be Zach Chapman. Joe Mosso 4th. Connor Ross 5th. Michael Vecchio and Paul Thompson to make up the cars in heat race number 3. Heat 3 results here is Mosso, Reynolds, Chapman, Mosso, Ross, Vecchio and Thompson as we move forward to heat race number 4. Heat number 4 on the pole position in the Murano Racing number 32 machine. It is Anthony Murano. To the outside of the front row, Brandon Templeton from position number 2. Randy Shreves rolls off out of position number 3. Joseph Graney from position number 4. Jeff Sharp from position number 5. And Cody Graham lines up from position number 6 with Gary Sigelkow from position number 7. Heat 4, brought to you by Mora Farm Management of Clarence, Iowa. Ready to start your 4th and final heat race of the night. Green flag goes out. Murano and Templeton, and they bang doors. Down into turn number 1. It's going to be Templeton to the outside. Templeton to the race lead. Murano now finds himself in that 2nd position as Randy Shreves looks to settle himself into position number 3. Meanwhile, Jeff Sharp, Cody Graham, they will go side by side at the line down into turn 1. It was Cody Graham to turn hard left into the side of Jeff Sharp. Challenge starting to come up for the race lead. Boy, Cody Graham not afraid to send it deep down into turn number 3. Probably scaring the bejesus out of Randy Shreves in that 56 machine. Top 3 run above the slick on the all the way through 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Cody Graham was finding himself trying to run the bottom side. He will do the same once again. Shreves coming after Anthony Murano. Murano, who was your pole sitter for heat race number 3, heat race number 4, thanks to Mora Management of Clarence, Iowa. 4 down, 4 to run. Just like that, we are halfway home. Still Murano trying to run down Templeton, but Murano trying to hold off the 56 entry of Randy Shreves as they work down into 1 and 2. Shreves all over the back of him now. He'll look down to the inside. Goes to the middle. He'll look to slide it up, but now tries to cut back on the exit of turn number 4, but it is still Templeton to the race lead. Still Murano holding on to the runner-up position. Shreves in 3rd. Graham. Then you go back to Sharp. Sigelkow to finalise your 6 cars in heat race number 4. Just the one consolation race up after this one. It should be 10 laps to distance. We'll see how many go through to the main event. Templeton with a lap coming to the white flag. A lap left to run. Heat race number 4 thanks to Mora Farm Management of Clarence, Iowa. Templeton, Murano, Shreves as they work through 1 and 2. No one got anything for the moment for Brandon Templeton as he works down into turns 3, Checkered flag is out. Heat racing action is done here on this Gambler Motorsports Thursday night thunder for the 358 small block modifieds here at Lincoln Speedway. Templeton will get the win from Morano, Shreves, Graham, Sharp, Sigelcow and Grandy. We take a look very quickly at your starting grid for you. In fact, no, we're not even going to do that. We're going to go straight to a warm-up session, so no consolation race. So there is heat race number 4 results. Templeton, Morano, Shreves, Graham, Sharp, Sigelcow. As we have a warm-up session, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of this, your main event, Thursday Night Thunder, thanks to Gambler Motorsports, the small blocks and big block modifieds here at Lincoln Speedway, presented by Coast to Coast Racing League.
The reverse for Lucy Olsen. She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV and Coast to Coast Racing Network. Thursday Night Thunder presented by Gambler Motorsports. It is now time for your A main event here for the small block modifieds. As we get set for your starting grid, let's go from back to front. We'll try and run through this one quickly. Joseph Grandy from position number 28. Paul Thompson from position number 27. Bob the Good from position number 26. Position number 25, Malachi Smith. Position number 24, it's Gary Sigelcow. Position number 23, Michael Vecchio. Position number 22, Greg Boydell. Position number 21, Jonathan Krupa. Position number 20, Jeff Sharp. Position number 19, Connor Ross. Position 18, Jason Butterfield. Position number 17, Brian Beam. Position number 16, Coney Graham. Position number 15, Joe Mosso. Dylan Kinsey from 14, Kelly Wheeler from 13th. From position number 12, Randy Shreves. From 11th, it's Zach Chapman. From 10th, it's Logan Wentz. Cullen Johnston from 9. Anthony Morano from position number 8. Dean Reynolds from position number 7. Position number 6, Patrick Spangler. Position number 5, Jeff Barker. Brandon Templeton, position number 4. Position number 3, Jacob Musso. Isaac Salas on the outside of the front row. Daniel Blau from the pole position. Let's get dirty for 30. Week number 1, your small block modified. Thanks to Gambler Motorsports. And we are green down into turn number 1 and 2. Oh, bit for them barging. We are going to go yellow on the raceway. 28 cars on the tight little bull ring known as Lincoln Speedway. Happy to be on board, Roger. Welcome everybody into the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Make sure to follow Coast to Coast Racing Network on all the social media platforms. And of course, show some love to their sponsors that continue to make the wheels turn. And a big thank you to, of course, the team at Coast to Coast Racing Network, but of course, Top Notch Trucking, Catalytic Recovery, Flatline Racing Bodies, for all that they do. So first yellow of the night in tonight's main event, coming very early on. Your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder 358 small block modifieds. After this one, we'll take a short break because we also have the big block modifieds to come on the program after this one. Ready for the restart. A-main time once again. Small block modifiers are ready to do battle here at Lincoln Speedway one more time. And Isaac Salas, Daniel Blau on the outside of the front row. Got a good start in the number 17 machine. So worked out into turn number 1 and 2. Salas now to the inside. It's Brandon Templeton now sweeps around the outside. Look out, there's contact. Oh no, look out. Jacob Musso in the 61 machine somehow. We keep it clean and green. Not for long. There is another yellow. Deep in the back of the field. So second yellow of this main event. And the 28 cars, it's very tight. Very, very tight throughout this field as everybody tries to navigate their way towards the front. Who will it be? And who will we chat to in Extreme eSpeed TV Victory Lane later on? We'll chat to the top 3, and then of course we'll then take a short break. Once the break has happened, we'll of course then move on to our big block modifieds. What is race number 2 of 3 of the night? Race 2 for myself, and I believe Marty is going to have the asphalt broadcast after this one. But we get ready to go back to green. Blau and Salas on the front row once again. Green flag off turn number 4. We race down the front straight away. Gentle on a 2x2 action nearly now. It's going to be 3 wide momentarily. Brandon Templeton now going to move up into position number 3. Look out, Isaac Salas is going to catch the wall, and probably going to be a lucky break for the 5 machine, because Salas caught the wall, which means he's going to go back to his original starting position in what should be on the outside of your front row. Couple of cars already back in the pit area. Jonathan Krupa, Jason Butterfield and Malachi Smith are the 3 drivers at the moment that are back in the pit area here at Lincoln Speedway. Summer season week number 1. live on Ultimate Dirt TV, live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network on YouTube. We certainly appreciate your company here on this Thursday evening. The field is at 2 to green. Lights will go out around the Lincoln Speedway. So Blau in the 17, Salas in the 5. That's your front row. Then you go back to the 61 of Jacob Mosso on the inside of that second row. The 31 entry of Brandon Templeton outside the second row. Patrick Spangler, the 39, inside alongside him on the outside of row 3. The 513 of Jeff Barker. Once again, we'll let them loose here at Lincoln Speedway, and green flag is out. Daniel Blau opting to choose the outside of the racetrack there on those starts. And immediately we're going to go yellow. Upside down is Logan Wentz there on the exit of corner number 4. So some drivers at the back getting a little antsy. Getting a little too eager to get on the gas, and you've got to be patient at a racetrack like Lincoln Speedway. It's a tricky and technical one, I must say. Been here a number of times. So it's got Isaac Salas in the number 1 position, followed by Daniel Blau in the 17 in the second spot. Lights still flashing on the safety car and also around this Lincoln Speedway, located of course in Pennsylvania. So Salas has opted to go to the top side of the racetrack. So we get ready to let him loose once again. Logan Wentz out of the event in 28th position. Smith and Butterfield, well, they are 1 lap down in 26th and 27th position. Lap 4 is complete. 26 left to run. Oh, Daniel Blau on the 17, he was all sorts of slow on that start. And the first 3 rows on the outside, all now sitting 1, 2, and 3 positions. Reynolds in that 79 machine, that Full Throttle Motorsports Super Dirt Car Series 79, looks to the outside on the exit of turn number 4. He's got 4th at the line. Now coming after Patrick Spangler down into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Templeton in car 31. We're about to get our 6th lap into the books here at the Lincoln Speedway. Still keeping an eye on that battle for the race lead, because Jacob Mosso in the 61 looking to come after Isaac Salas. Both these drivers picked up heat race 2 and 3 victory earlier on in the night, so they know both. They know both of them. They know how to get to Extreme E-Speed TV victory lane. Patrick Spangler now trying a different line through turn number 1 and 2. Jeff Barker in the 513 battles it out with Zach Chapman as they go wheel to wheel down through turns 3 and 4. Barker in the 513. Chapman in that 72 machine. That's the blue and green machine to the top side of the racetrack. Here comes the 11 machine of Kelly Wheeler. Wheeler up to position number 10, but we go yellow. Yellow on the raceway. In what will complete lap number 9, so almost 1/3 of the race distance is complete. And Isaac Salas with a good start on that last restart. In fact, like I said, it was an outside row. The first 3 outside rows. By the time they got to turn 1 and 2, they were in first, second, and third. So Blau on the 17, caught sleeping on that one. Now he's going to find himself back on the outside of that third row. Lights will go out once again around Lincoln Speedway's racetrack. Safety car will pull infield this time on the back straightaway. Jacob Mosso along with Isaac Salas. Mosso in the 61, Salas in the 5. Keep an eye on Reynolds outside, second row in the 79 machine. Well, he got a good start as well. And perfectly timed, but unfortunately for Mosso, he will find himself in third position, battling 3 wide. Here comes Blau, Spangler, and now also Zach Chapman as well, nearly 3 wide down the back straightaway. We put another lap into the books. Now it's official, 1/3 of the race distance complete. Problems right now. Oh no, look out, Kelly Wheeler on the front straightaway. We go yellow for Kelly Wheeler in the DNS remodeling number 11 machine. Problems for Jason Butterfield in the 93. So some drivers struggling early on in tonight's main event. Get a big thank you to, of course, Catalytic Recovery, Flatline Racing Body, Top Notch Trucking, and of course Coast to Coast Racing Lane. When there is a whole list of other sponsors as well that we can go through. Everybody putting the time and money and effort in each and every week, each and every season to bring you 6 nights of racing, 22 divisions. And put it this way, half of those divisions are broadcasted. It's a huge effort here by the Coast to Coast Racing League. Check them out on the World Wide Web at Coast to Coast Racing League or c2crl.com. Of course, our Team Watson cautions bringing out, once again, the yellow flag. We'll come back to the Lucy Olsen green flag. Here at Lincoln Speedway. Safety car is in. Salas outside front row. Reynolds inside. And this track is starting to sling it off, so we're starting to see a lot of the drivers work to the top of the racetrack. Green flag is back out, and boy, I tell you what, Reynolds got a good start, but he'll slide up to the top of the racetrack. Spangler falls into position number 3. Then you go back to the 61, Mosso. But now Mosso back to 5th position as Zach Chapman moves his way to position number 4. Chapman and Mosso, they battle side by side. Then you got Templeton, Barker, along with Blau, Kinsey, and Joe Mosso for your top 10. But again, caution will fly here at Lincoln Speedway. So we've got 5 drivers. Five drivers who are out or back in the pits. Logan Wentz in 28th position. He's out of the event. Brian Beam back in the pits. He's 3 laps down. Jason Butterfield is out for the night. In at 26th position, Jonathan Kruper in 25th. Cullen Johnston in 24th. Malachi Smith a lap down in that 23rd position. Butch. Well, we'll have to ask him about that one. So we are going to, yes, double file again. I believe it's double file all the way up until inside of 10 laps left to run. 23 cars still left on the Lincoln Speedway. Big night here on Thursday night with the Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. Presented by Coast to Coast Racing League. Once again, we go back green. And Dean Reynolds got an absolute blinder of a restart. He'll slide up in front of Patrick Spangler. Spangler gives a little shot in the shorts. 3 wide down the back straight away. A little bit for the margin. Oh boy, do we keep it going? No, we're going to go Yellow Chapman around in 3 and 4. And there's a whole number of cars that are around and stopped on the racetrack. Tough racing here at Lincoln Speedway to open up your summer season week number 1. Of course, a big week, as always, with the Coast to Coast Racing League and the Coast to Coast Racing Network. But also a big season for the Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder, week number 2 next week at Williams Grove Speedway. So staying in Pennsylvania before week number 3. We'll go to the Federated Auto Parts in Peevely, Missouri, I-55 Raceway for round 3. Week number 4 is going to be at Wheatland, Missouri, at the Lucas Oil Speedway for week 4. In week 5, we'll go to Kokomo Speedway in Indiana, Limaland, Ohio for week number 6. Week 7 is going to be at Weed Sport in New York. Week number 8 will be at Lanier National Speedway. Week 9 will be at Port Royal. Week 10 at Cedar Lake Speedway. And Championship night at the Knoxville Raceway. Once again, ready to go back racing. 13 down, 17 to go. Salas from Reynolds and Spangler. That's your top 3. Blau around the outside of Joe Mosso. And now here comes Brandon Templeton in that 31 machine as he works down to the bottom side through turns 3 and 4. 15 down, 15 to run. That'll be next time by, that is. Templeton still looking down low down the back straight away. This is your battle for 4th and 5th position. Your top 3 right now, they are settled at the moment. Your original pole sitter, Daniel Blau, in that 17. Working on the top of the racetrack above the slick as we go yellow. Yellow on the racetrack. So don't forget, we've still got your big block modifieds to come from Lincoln Speedway. Of course, that server is now up, but of course we're not going to get into that one just yet because we are still going to get through the final 14 laps of this main event. But while we still roll around behind your iRacing.com safety car, we're going to do the proper thing. And we are going to get into and get ready to get into the server. But we've still got to get through this main event first as Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder 358 small block modifieds. Lincoln Speedway Summer Season Week number 1 live on Ultimate Dirt TV, live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We'll have the Asphalt Series as well later on. Green flag back out onto the racetrack here at Lincoln. It's still going to be Isaac Salas, your race leader, from Dean Reynolds. Patrick Spangler again. Still trying to make this all work. Love the Team Watson Racing Setups NASCAR Cup Series. That'll be at the Auto Club Speedway. Salas with 12 to run from Reynolds. Spangler battle once again between Blau and Templeton for 4th and 5th position. Then you go back to Jeff Sharp. Now Jeff Sharp from position number 20 up to position number 6 plus 14. Still not your hard charger. That goes back to the man that sits in 9th position. Joseph Grady started 28th in this field and he is plus 19. Working on 10 to go for your race leader off turn number 4. Isaac Salas in the number 1 position. 2/3 of the race distance is complete and we go yellow. And with inside 10 to go, we should be going to a single file restart. So Extreme eSpeed TV. They will have coverage of the Cup cars, the NASCAR Cup cars at the Auto Club Speedway. After this one, in fact, after our big block modifieds, of course, the small block modifieds brought to you by Top Notch Trucking. And of course, catalytic recovery, I'll spit that out eventually, will be presenting your big block modified series. Of course, I'll take the lights off around the venue. Should be this time. And again, we will send the pace car back to the infield. And it will be a single file restart inside of 10 to go. So we're left with 20 on the raceway. Salas, Reynolds and Spangler ready to do battle once again. Final, what is 9 laps of competition. Can Salas hold on to the race lead? What has Dean Reynolds got in the final stages of this main event? Will Patrick Spangler hold on to a podium position to open up your summer season week number 1 Thursday Night Thunder Small Block Modified Series? Templeton in that 4th position runs the bottom side down into turn number 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Spangler closing in on the runner-up position. That's Dean Reynolds driving that Full Throttle Motorsports number 79 machine. Salas still at the pointy end of the field from Reynolds. Spangler, that's your top 3. Templeton right there, not giving up without a fight in 4th position. Bit of a gap back to 5th of Daniel Blau. Jeff Sharp in position number 6. 1 car into the wall. I think that was Connor Ross. In fact, it might have been Joe Mosso in the 63 machine. Side by side, deep in this field, right around that 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th position. Kelly Wheeler coming back through the field up to position number 10. Make that 11th. We'll go back to the last recorded lap as we go yellow. I'm sure these caution flags, they're not doing any favours to Dean Reynolds, but I'm sure they're doing a favour for Isaac Salas, who gets out to a race lead. And one thing that he doesn't have to contend with is the lap cars. So still 2 to green here at Lincoln Speedway. Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. Top Notch Trucking 358 Modifieds. Your small blocks. I have your catalytic recovery big block modifieds. After this one, Can we wait for the safety car to pull infield, in which it does? Back underway, your main event here at Lincoln Speedway. Salas with 5 to run. Reynolds, Spangler once again your top 3, all running above the slick through 1 and 2. They'll do the same down into 3 and 4. Giving everything he's got down on the bottom side. That's Brandon Templeton in car number 31. Blau in 5th, Sharp, Barker. It's the battle of the Jeffs right now for 6th and 7th position, but now you throw in Connor Ross. Ross in that 35 machine. Here comes Jeff Barker in the 513 to the bottom side through 3 and 4. We'll get by your 28 entry of Jeff Sharp. So Sharp on the top, Barker on the bottom as they work side by side through 1 and 2. And Barker's got to run now. Barker looking to come after Daniel Blau in the 17 machine, looking for a top 5. He's got it at the line. 2 to run for your race lead. Back up front as we watch Isaac Salas just to your left of screen. Leading the field into 3 and 4 for the penultimate lap. White flag is out. 1 lap left to go. We race to the start-finish line. Whatever happens from here on out will happen. It's still Salas down the back straightaway for the final time. Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. Top-notch trucking, 358, small block modifieds, Checkers is out. Isaac Salas gets the win from Dean Reynolds home in 2nd. 3rd will go to Patrick Spangler. Brandon Templeton in 4th, and Jeff Barker is going to move back to position number 5. What a drive by Jeff Barker, your top 3, will make their way to the front stretch. So Salas, Reynolds and Spangler will come away with the top 3. Brandon Templeton home in position number 4. Jeff Barker 5th. Connor Ross, Jeff Sharp, Daniel Blau, Joe and Jacob Mosso come home in 9th and 10th. And we go back through the field. 11th is going to be Greg Boydell, Kelly Wheeler, Dylan Kinsey, Cody Graham, Zach Chapman, Bob DeGood, Malachi Smith, Cullen Johnston, Joseph Grandy, Gary Siegelkow, Paul Thompson, Anthony Morano, Michael Vecchio, Randy Shrees, Jonathan Krupa, Jason Butterfield, Brian Beam, and Logan Wentz, the 28 drivers in this one. Your main event is done, and we're going to go and chat to our top 3 here tonight. And of course, coming home in that 3rd position, it's going to be Patrick Spangler. Patrick, congratulations on this 3rd place finish, and boy, in what was a little bit of a struggle to get going there at the start. You guys got some good green flag runs, but 3rd place, not a bad way to open up the summer season for the small block modifieds.
Yeah, just focusing more on the modifieds, just trying to get a good run and solid finish there, and was able to keep it in one piece and survive the enduro there, and in the podium, hopefully we can do the same thing in the big block.
Truck at the end of that race was starting to get a little slick. It started to move up, but you guys pretty much ran that top side for the most part of that race. Obviously, that looked like it was going to be the preferred line.
Yeah, there's that weird uphill on the bottom of 3 and 4, so the small blocks that bogs the motor down there. But it was nice to see the track slick off, since it doesn't slick off that quick on the new update. And yeah, hopefully the big blocks we can get some 2-lane racing or just some green flag racing.
Well, good start to your Thursday Night Thunder top-notch trucking small block modified series summer season week number 1 series campaign. Patrick, before we let you go, sponsors on this race car, who makes this possible for you?
Yeah, just you for the awesome broadcast. Roger run the league. Train was racing with Tyler, Birthday, and Dittmer. Dad, Uncle back on watching, and that's about it.
All right, there we go. Patrick Spangler, ladies and gentlemen, home in 3rd place. Home in 2nd place tonight is going to be that Full Throttle Motorsports number 79 machine of Dean Reynolds. Dean, congratulations on the runner-up position. And, well, you made it hard for yourself. From 7th, you got up to 2nd. You had a number of opportunities there on a restart to challenge for that race lead. But Isaac just too good on the top, and you'll have to settle for 2nd here tonight.
Right, I'm just freaking happy I had some good luck with you doing the telecast.
It seems lately every time that you hit the racetrack and I'm doing the broadcast, you've absolutely got no luck and you finish back in the pits.
I was looking for an all-expenses-paid trip to Australia just for a payback. No, it was a good race. There's a reason why I sponsor Isaac with Super Dirt Car Series. I mean, he is the best. He's the best in this league, and to finish second with him, I'll take that. I'll take that every day. The only way I'm going to beat him is if he makes a mistake, and he didn't. He ran a great race, and I was just happy to stay right with him. And then Patrick Spangler, you know how good Patrick is in sprint cars. He's so good in sprints, and now he's getting so good in modifieds, and he helps me out with sprint cars and sets and stuff and where to go, and I got to thank him. And that was a fun race. Too bad they had so many cautions there at the beginning, Brett, but I'm glad we got to race it out there at the end.
What are we thinking for the big blocks coming up next?
Well, I hope the guys have a little bit more patience than they did in the 358s, because you're going to be sailing it down in the corners a lot harder than you did with the 358s. But I think it's going to be a little racier. Because I think guys are going to be a little wearing out the tires a little bit more on the top side and getting a little more sideways, and I think the bottom and the middle might come in. So hopefully it'll be a little bit better race as far as positions.
Yeah, well, look, well done on second place, Dean. Again, before we let you go, of course, sponsors, shout-outs, all that good stuff, buddy. Who makes it happen for you on the 79 car?
Well, I got to say thanks to the guys first at Full Throttle Motorsports and all those guys, Gunnar Swanchera from Swan Speed Shop. When I do open setup races, I use his sets, and they're deadly. They're very good. And then guys from Team Venom, I'm in their Discord with Isaac and them, so I got to say thanks to all those guys. Again, thanks to Patrick Spangler for all the sprint car help. Coast to Coast for doing Thursday nights and giving me a little home on Thursday night. And Brett, I'm psyched you're doing Thursdays. I think you're going to see a lot better racing than you saw in that first one, and we're just glad you're here.
Yeah, look, glad to be along for the ride, and no doubt only onwards and upwards for me. Dean, congratulations on second spot. We'll see you back in the big blocks very shortly.
All right, Brett. Hopefully we'll talk to you again.
All right, Dean Reynolds home in second spot. The run-up, he's the bridesmaid tonight, but of course, there has to be a bride, there has to be a winner, and tonight that comes courtesy of the 5 machine of Isaac Salas. Isaac, congratulations on this victory. Boy, I tell you what, that was a rough start to that feature event, but once you got to that race lead, mate, she was all smooth sailing from out in front.
Yeah, man, it was. I think these are some of the first laps a lot of these guys have gotten to put down since this new model of iRacing's come out. So, I mean, obviously you're going to have hiccups, and especially when you're starting on Lincoln. But, yeah, man, it was a good race overall.
It took us through those restarts in trying to change those up, especially when you were trying to actually get those restarts from Daniel Blau at the start, but then you having to choose when you were going to go on those restarts to try and get away from Dean there.
Yeah, I think the big ones with Daniel was just I think I beat him to the line or something, because it gave me the lead, which really enabled me to, have that high side start with the little bit of momentum you get instead of having to climb the hill right away. And then with Dean and Pat and all those guys behind, you just need to basically just think about where you were the last time, try to change it up, try to keep them guessing, and yeah, it all worked out, man. It was fun.
Mate, you look pretty smooth and consistent on the top. Obviously, was that the game plan for you coming into this feature event, was just to try and get to the top and stay up there?
Well, these are actually my first. This was actually my first race at Lincoln, so I didn't really know what to expect. But it was just kind of like where I found that I could keep my momentum up, and I could kind of keep my mistakes to a minimal, was up towards that top there.
I'll tell you what, Isaac, congratulations on the win. You opened up the Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. Top-notch trucking, 358 small block modifieds with the win here at Lincoln. Isaac, before we let you go, of course, and get ready for the big blocks, sponsors, shout out to who makes this happen on this number 5 machine.
Yeah, well, the big shout out, I guess, right here is Top Notch Trucking with my Gramps. It's pretty awesome that the first race that we got him to sponsor for the season here ends up in a win, so that's pretty awesome. All those guys over at Venom Racing, Dean in the Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs, Got Your Six Racing Network, RSN Trackside, Coast to Coast, everybody that's here, Mission 22, everything they do for our veterans. Thank you for the broadcast, man. I'm super excited to go back and watch it. And then, yeah, just like thanks to our veterans and then my friends and family that support me every week.
Well done on the win in the small blocks. We'll see you back in the big blocks. We'll see if you can double down here at Lincoln.
Awesome. Thanks, sir.
There we go. Isaac Salas, ladies and gentlemen, your winner in the Top Notch Trucking 358 small block modifieds Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Summer Season Week number 1. We're only halfway complete. We've still got the big block modifieds to come. So with that being said, we are going to take a quick break here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Stay tuned. We have big blocks coming up next on the program. On the other side of this, we are going to be back in a few moments' time.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olsen, she has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore. Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV and the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Fun, the summer season week number 1 here at Lincoln Speedway. It is time for your catalytic recovery big block modifieds. Again, welcome everybody to Ultimate Dirt TV and the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're not too far away. We've just had our top-notch trucking small block 358 modifieds. Round 1 just finished up, where it was Isaac Salas who got the win from Dean Reynolds in second and Patrick Spangler in third. How will it play out? Another 27 drivers signed into the virtual pit area as we get ready. There is no qualifying on the program. It is straight into heat racing action. So it is time now for heat race number 1. Thanks to Flatline Bodies. Let's take a look, ladies and gentlemen, at your starting grid. Very quickly, 7 cars. Heat number 1 on the pole position. It's going to be the Hammerdown Racing 31 entry of Brandon Templeton from the outside of your front row. From position number 2 for Can-Am Racing Team, it's the 513 entry of Jeff Barker. Anthony Morano from Morano Racing will drive the 32 from position number 3. Jason Butterfield in the 93 from position number 4. Barry Goldner lines up at a position number 5 in the Stephen Goldner Racing entry. Jason Coffey in the 107 from position number 6. And doing it from the back of the field, driving the Venom Racing Super Dirt Car Series 05 from position number 7. That is your small block feature winner of Isaac Salas. I am waiting for Trading Paints to update. Again, having to reload it all. Green flag is out. Heat number 1 brought to you by Flatline Racing Buddy. We are green down into turn number 1 and 2. It's going to be Templeton leading the way from Barker. Then you go back to Butterfield. Look out, Butterfield, Morano. Salas coming through. He's now moved his way to position number 5. Golden back in 6th. Coffee in 7th. Challenges up for the race lead, Jeff Barker. Barker trying to run down Brandon Templeton through turn number 3 and 4. 2 laps into the books. The Catalytic Recovery Big Block Modified Series here on the Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder live on Ultimate Dirt TV, live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's still Templeton to lead the way. Remember, go back to that small block feature race. He ended up finishing, it was 6th position, but it was Templeton who was probably one of the only cars inside the top 10 that was able to make the bottom side of the racetrack work. Barker still runs in the runner-up position. Then you go back to Anthony Morano in that 32 machine, followed by Butterfield and Salas. That's your top 5. All drivers will make tonight's main event. All drivers will make tonight's main event. And of course that will put a 27-car field. Butterfield drifted up to the top of the racetrack. Boy, he nearly tagged the wall. Down low goes Salas on Butterfield. Couldn't complete the pass. Watching Morano in that 32 just in front of the 93 of Jason Butterfield. It's Brandon Templeton over a 1 second advantage right now over Jeff Barker. And Barker again just rolls the bottom side. White flag is out. 1 to go for your race leader. Templeton down the back straightaway. Final time. Heat race number 1 brought to you by Flatline Racing Buddies. Check and flag is out. Brandon Templeton going to go and start on pole at tonight's main event. Barker will come home 2nd. Morano 3rd. Butterfield, Salas your top 5. Goldner and Coffee will come home in the 6th and 7th position. Heat number 1 brought to you by Flatline Racing Buddies. And here is your official results. Templeton, Barker, Morano, Butterfield, Salas, Goldner and Coffee. Heat number 2 brought to you by Langton Mechanical. On the pole position, it's going to be Joe Mosso. On the outside of the front row, it's Cody Graham from position number 2. From position number 3, driving the Super Dirt Car Series Full Throttle Motorsports 79 entry of Dean Reynolds and Dylan Kinsey in the 83 will start from position number 4. Zach Chapman rolls off at a position number 5, position number 6. The Training Wheels Racing 39 entry from position number 6. That's Patrick Spangler. And Kurt Schatzer in the Hammerdown Racing 218 machine will start from position number 7. All 7 cars making their way onto the racetrack behind the iRacing.com safety car. We're going to send them around one more time. Again, your Langton Mechanical, heat number 2. Of course, at Langton Mechanical, we are the second to none heating and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area and promise our customers our own professionally trained Langton specialist will be there every step of the way. They guarantee your customer satisfaction from start to finish, including sales, installation and maintenance service of your heating and or cooling system. We'll come back to that part in just a moment. Heat number 2. Langton Mechanical, Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder, Big Block Modified Series. We go down into turn number 1 and 2 for the first time. Cody Graham in the 35 machine will lead down the back straightaway from Joe Mosso in that 63. Keep an eye on Dean Reynolds, Dylan Kinsey as they work side by side. Why is Trading Paints doing this to me? Well, I hope that they've got the right paint on. Almost looks like we're seeing a bit of deja vu on some of those paints. In fact, we're just going to close that one and reopen it back up. So bear with me just a moment. This does this from time to time. Yeah, and I knew that would come up there. Oh, that's annoying. So hopefully they are going to load up very quickly. Can we put another lap into the books here at the Lincoln Speedway? It is still Cody Graham, your race leader. From Joe Mosso, Dean Reynolds, in second position. Now Mosso back in third position. Patrick Spangler, Kurt Schatzer. That rounds out your top 5. Graham, your race leader. Reynolds, Mosso, side by side. Mosso's got it at the line. Joe Mosso in the number 63 machine. Don't mind the number 2. It's only for a moment. Once training paints gets fixed up. 2 to run for your race leader. Watching now. Spangler dive down to the inside. Spangler side by side with Reynolds into 3 and 4. Penultimate time. White flag is out. Remember, Reynolds and Spangler, they finished 2nd and 3rd in the sport block modified. But right now, it is Cody Graham leading down the back straight away. 3 and 4, final time. Checkers is out. Cody Graham gets the win. Second will go to Joe Mosso. Dean Reynolds third. Spangler fourth. And Schatzer rounds out your top 5 from Kinsey and Chapman to come home in 6th and 7th position. Heat 2 results coming up on screen. And there is the win going to Cody Graham, Joe Mosso, Dean Reynolds, Patrick Spangler, Kurt Schatzer, Dylan Kinsey and Zach Chapman. Your 7 cars. 7 cars once again in heat race number 3. Randy Shrees will start from position number 1. Bob DeGood lines up at a position number 2. Jeffrey Kemper from position number 3. Ross Carinta from position number 4. Joseph Graney from position number 5. Position number 6, Stephen Goldner. And Terry Landis lines up out of position number 7. Heat race number 3 brought to you by Top Notch Trucking. Top Notch Trucking doing your hauling needs in North Dakota. From hauling hay bales to water. And the service is, well, you guessed it, top notch. So hopefully, and it doesn't look like it just yet, it's still showing at 93%. Now for some reason, I know people have had some issues with this since the update, which kind of just grinds my gears. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download a new one, and I'm going to do it. Righto, green flag is out. Heat 3 is underway thanks to Top Notch Trucking. Shrees leads the way. I hope this does not bring it up on the main screen. Oh, yeah. It does. All right, we'll have to do that during the warm-up session. Right now, Shrees leads the way from Kemper. Then you go back to Grandy, followed by DeGood and Goldner. Look out, DeGood goes around. So 2 laps into the books. Heat race number 3 brought to you by Top Notch Trucking. Shrees, Kemper, and Grandy 1, 2, and 3. 5 to run. Grandy trying to cut down right on the inside wall down the front straightaway. He'll stay, try and lock down to the bottom into turn number 1 and 2, nearly 3 wide for the race lead. Shrees, Kemper. Kemper now under some pressure with Joseph Grandy. Grandy moved up a number of positions in the small block modified main event just a few moments ago. Kemper and Grandy wheel to wheel. Kemper on the top side in that 181 machine. Now trying to come after your race leader of Randy Shrees. Kemper to the top. He goes high up upstairs. 3 to go. Grandy just sliding the car down into turn number 1. Probably going through the slick, but now he's going to pick up the runner-up position. Now trying to come after the race leader. Shrees has got some company. Joseph Grandy, Jeffrey Kemper, and it's a 3-way dance for the 1, 2, and 3 positions. Shrees now again with Jeffrey Kemper all over the back bumper as they work down the back straight over to the inside of the 181 machine of Jeffrey Kemper. Goes the 518 of Joseph Grandy, side by side. White flag is out, 1 lap left to go here at Lincoln Speedway. Your Top Notch Trucking heat race number 3. Big block modified, heat 3. Finishing into turns 3 and 4 this time by final time. Grandy down low. Shrees is going to be victorious. Grandy gets home and sneaks home for second. Kemper will grab third. Goldner fourth. Carinta fifth. Landis in sixth. Followed by Bob DeGood back in the pits in position number 7. What a way to wrap up heat race number 3. Shrees, Grandy and Kemper will go 1, 2 and 3. Goldner in 4th. Carinta 5th. Landis in 6th. And DeGood in 7th. Heat number 4 brought to you by Mora Farm Management of Clarence, Iowa. On the pole position of this 6-car field, it's the Thunder Ridge Racing, car number 28 of Jeff Sharp. On your outside of the front row for car number 35, that is Connor Ross. Starting from position number 3, it'll be the 114 entry of Brennan Lacey and Jonathan Cooper for Graham Racing lines up at a position number 4. Jacob Mosso in the Mosso Racing number 61 from position number 5. Malachi Smith in the 550 will start from position number 6. Again, apologies about the trading paints issue. Every time I reload it, it's just a different paint scheme. And unfortunately, it's just the way that it works when you jump from server to server, back to back. In fact, see if I can. And I hate to do this because this just sucks sometimes. But we're gonna do it again. Heat 4, final heat race of the night. It's done it again. Thanks, Stevie. Ross leads the way from Lacey. Then you go back to Sharp, Mosso, Krupa, and Smith. Lacey down to the inside, down into 3 and 4 on Connor Ross. It's going to be... Oh boy, that's too close to call the naked eye. Ross on the outside, Lacey on the inside. Good battle for the race lead, but Brennan Lacey too good on the bottom side of the racetrack through 1 and 2. Bottom 1 and 2, top 3 and 4 might be the place to be, but Brennan Lacey still holds on. Holding on to the race lead, now driving away from Connor Ross, and you go back to Sharp, Mosso, Cooper, and Smith. Dylan, no, I haven't had to do that just yet, and I've done 5 or 6 broadcasts so far, but I've got it ready to go anyway. Hopefully that it is fixed itself up right now. 3 to run. But hey, you know what? I'll try anything once or twice. Mosso in the 61 trying to get by Jeff Sharp. Sharp in the 28 machine as they work down the back straightaway. Coming to 2 to go. Watching 3rd and 4th on screen. Sharp, Mosso, wheel to wheel down the back straightaway. White flag is out. 1 to go for Brennan Lacey. Still focused on this battle for 3rd and 4th position between Sharp and Mosso. Mosso to the outside on Sharp. They work down the back straight away. Final time down into turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag is out. Brennan Lacey gets the win. Second will go to Connor Ross. Jacob Mosso in 3rd. Jeff Sharp in 4th. Malachi Smith in 5th. Then Jonathan Cooper comes home in position number 6. No consolation race, straight into our main event. We'll take a look at Heat 4 results very quickly. There they are, Lacey, Ross, Mosso, Sharp, Smith, and Cooper. We have the warm-up session being slated right now. We're going to take a quick break here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Be back with your 30-lap main event on the other side of this commercial break.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV and the Coast to Coast Racing Network for your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Summer Season Week number 1 here at Lincoln Speedway. It is time for your Catalytic Recovery, a main event for the big block modifieds for 27 starters. Let's take a look from back to front. Position number 27. It's going to be Bob DeGood. Position number 26, Zach Chapman. Position number 25, Jason Coffey. From 24, it is Jonathan Kruber. Position 23, Lander Smith. From position 22, Dylan Kinsey. Barry Goldner from 21. Malachi Smith from 20th. Ross Carinta from 19. Kurt Schatzer 18. Isaac Salas 17. Jeff Sharp 16. Stephen Goldner in 15. Patrick Spangler 14. Jason Butterfield 13. From 12th, it's Jacob Mosso. Jeffrey Kemper from 11. Dean Reynolds from position number 10. Anthony Morano from 9. From 8th, it's Connor Ross. From 7th, it's Joseph Grady. From 6th, it's Joe Mosso. Jeff Barker from 5. From 4, it's Brennan Lacey. From 3, Randy Shreves. Cody Graham from 2. And on the pole for tonight's main event, Brandon Templeton. It's time to go racing here at Lincoln Speedway. Your main event. Ready to go racing. Let's get dirty for 30 here at Lincoln Speedway as we are green flag racing down into turn number 1 and 2. Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder as they get through the first 2 turns. Look to be unscathed, but not for long. We go yellow. And just like what we've seen, in the early parts of the small block modified series, again with a field of 27 starters, Joseph Grady already out of the event. So an early caution. Lights still flashing around the venue. Lincoln Speedway. Safety car is in. Brandon Templeton along with Cody Graham. Let's go racing off turn number 4. Green flag is out and the 31 of Templeton is going to lead the field. Don't mind the lap counter. It'll fix itself back up. Just give it a lap or 2. Shree's trying to get by. Now Brennan Lacey sweeps around the outside. Look out, here comes Joe Mosso, Jeff Barker. Oh, Lacey's going to tag the back of the 2 machine. And Cody Graham in a huge parking lot down into turn number 3. Spangler in the 39 machine. The rear end busted on that car. Unfortunately, he's going to go and he will have to pull it pit side. So another caution coming out onto the racetrack. But the safety car is in. Ready to go back racing. Once again, Lincoln Speedway. In fact, I think the safety car came back out. We'll do it one more time. Don't forget, still got one more event after your catalytic recovery, big block modified main event. We have the Extreme E-Speed TV covering your NASCAR Cup Series from Auto Club Speedway. Thanks to Team Watson Racing Sellers. But right now we go back green here at Lincoln. And it's going to be Brandon Templeton to the race lead again. Brennan Lacey sitting back there in that runner-up position, followed by Anthony Morano, Jeff Parker, along with Dean Reynolds. Reynolds is sitting in that 5th position, but he has got Connor Ross in the 35 as they go side by side. And just as we come back to the early caution yet again. Templeton looks good. He looks really good at the start of this one. All right. Again, we are ready to go back racing here at Lincoln Speedway. Gambler Motorsports, Thursday Night Thunder, big block modifieds. Thanks to catalytic recovery. 5 down, 25 to go. Grandy and Spangler are the 2 drivers that are out, and casualties in this main event. Back underway. What does Brennan Lacey have in that 14 machine for Brandon Templeton in the 31? Look at this 3 wide. Look at Isaac Sellers coming through the field. He's up to position number 7, looking for a top 5. 6 laps into the books. But I tell you what, Jacob Mosso, Isaac Sellers, Connor Ross right there along with Kurt Schatzer. Schatzer in that A of the 218. This track pretty much right now what it was like in the small block modifieds. Morano, driving the Morano Racing number 32 machine, trying to find a way by Brennan Lacey in the 14, but Lacey just looks smooth downstairs, smooth sailing right now. Salas, but look at the battle between Connor Ross in the 35 and Jacob Mosso in that 61 machine. Jeff Sharp battling with Ross Carinta, that's for 10th and 11th position. Malachi Smith in the 50 entry, back in position number 12. Then you go back to Zach Chapman, who is your biggest mover through the field from position number 26 up to 13. That is plus 13 on the night so far, as we've got 10 in the books and we are yellow. Joe Mosso, driver around, and more than likely could be headed to the pits. There he goes, bringing that 63 machine back to the pit area. All right, just getting some other stuff sorted here. I'm just trying to fix a few things up. Actually, I wonder if this is going to work. Stand by. I had this built for a reason. There we go. Let's try that one. I'm only going to try it for the big blocks. I don't want to sort of mess it up for the small blocks and then not have it work for the big blocks. 20 to go. Green flag is out. Templeton from Lacey, Morano, Reynolds. Top fours, they work down the back straightaway. Barker and Schatzer. Barker on the inside, Schatzer on the outside. Salas and Ross, they work side by side. Ross going to find his way to position number 7. Another lap into the books. Meanwhile, still keeping an eye on the top 3 and 4 cars as they all hustle and bustle, jostle for positions. 2, 3 and 4 problems right now for Barker on the inside of the racetrack. He will lose a couple of positions. Salas now goes to the outside. Salas and Sharp. Sorry, that's Barker. We are yellow. We are under yellow flag conditions once again. It's identical to what we've seen in your small block modified main event. I tell you what, these boys, they're not afraid to leave it all on the line. They want to be the ones to put themselves into Extreme eSpeed TV victory lane. At the moment, your flatline racing body's hard charger is Zach Chapman plus 15. 26. He currently resides in the 11th position. Still plenty of laps to work with here in this main event. Coming back racing here in tonight's main. 17, so a couple of laps away from half race distance. Reynolds now side by side as they work down the back straightaway. Morano in the 32, Reynolds in the 79 again. Now it's going to be Dean Reynolds up to position number 3. He's got it at the line. Now shuts the door and Morano down into turn 1. Morano slides up. Oh, look out, Ross. Contact. Salas around. Salas around, Ross upside down, Jeff Sharp involved. And tough break for about 3 or 4 of those drivers. Salas, Ross, Sharp involved in that one. And you really hate to see that all unfold like it just did. Oh boy. Your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. And a night that has had a bit of everything here at Lincoln Speedway. It's a tricky racetrack at the best of times. Then you throw in a new build that is a week old. And hats off to the drivers for trying to come to terms and come to grips with what iRacing has put out over this past week. And I'm going to say, over this past week, it's really back to being enjoyable and enjoying the broadcasting on the dirt scene. If the ticker goes back up to 16, it'll be 15 to go. There it is. So halfway home, once we go back green, it'll be green along with the cross flag sticks. 15 down, 15 to go. Your main event, Gambler Motorsports, Thursday Night Thunder, Catalytic Recovery, Big Block Modifieds, green flag is out. Lacey to the top shelf into turn number 1 and 2, and now here comes Brendan Lacey for the race lead on Brandon Templeton. Templeton slides through the middle, tries to slide up and take the line away from Brendan Lacey, but Brendan Lacey, he's got it! You've got a new race leader here on lap number 16. Lacey, Templeton, Morano, Reynolds, along with Schatzer. Then you go back to Chapman, who is your hard charger, plus 20 positions at the moment in that 72 Scooby-Doo machine. Oh, no, look out, he's gone around. Oh, just as we were talking about him. Zach Chapman catches the left rear, and he goes around, and all that hard work in the first 16, 17 laps now comes undone. Sorry, not sorry. It may be the broadcaster's curse on that one. You hate to see it, especially plus 20 positions. He had passed more cars than what he had done laps. Tough break as we sit under the yellow flag conditions on 2 to green. And we are closing in. On single digit remaining laps. And once we get to 10 laps or less left in tonight's main event, we will switch it to a single file restart. So as it stands, Dylan Kinsey from 22nd, he's now in 8th. That is plus 14. Kurt Schatzer, Malachi Smith, Terry Landis, all those three drivers, they are plus 13. And in fact, we're going to go single file restart right now. Probably good for Brendan Lacey, probably good for Brandon Templeton as well. Here we go, back underway, 12 to run, 18 complete, your main event. In the Catalytic Recovery, Big Block Modified season opener, summer season, week number 1, thanks to Gambler Motorsports and Thursday Night Thunder live on Ultimate Dirt TV, live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Problems for Malachi Smith in the 50. Staying green. Smith has got the 50 machine, still plus 11 at the moment. Then you go back to Terry Landis in the 161 machine. He's plus 13 just in front of those guys. Here's that 83 machine of Dylan Kinsey. Kinsey plus 15. He is your hard charger at the moment. Lacey with 9 to run. He has got half a second lead. There he is down into turn number 1 and 2. Drifts a little too close to the concrete wall. They work past the back straightaway, past the guardrail, back up into the concrete wall. Templeton closed in by 1/10 of a second there on the previous lap. Now Templeton doing what he did in the 358 small block modified main event. He's gone back to the bottom side with less than 10 to run. Lacey, Templeton back down to the inside. Lacey upstairs through 1 and 2, 7 to go. It was 3/10 of a second. Now shoots back up to 4/10. Into the wall goes Templeton. That could be the opportunity for Brendan Lacey to drive further away from this field. And that might be Brandon Templeton's chance gone begging for a potential race win. It's now out to 7/10 of a second. Lead for Lacey with just 5 laps left to run. Morano in 3rd. Reynolds in 4th. Kurt Schatzer in 5th. Dylan Kinsey, your hard charger at the moment in the 83, plus 16 positions from 22nd all the way to position number 6. Jeff Barker in 7th, Malachi Smith in 8th, Terry Landis 9th, he is plus 14. Then you go back to Ross Carintha in the 10. Landerson, Carinta, work wheel to wheel. Carinta, slide job down into turn 1 and 2. Contact there, Stephen Goldner. Into Carinta. Problems for Carinta as he is out of tonight's main event. 3 laps left to run for your race leader, Brennan Lacey. Kinsey and Schatzer. Kinsey to the inside. Looking for position number 5. Looking for one more spot in tonight's main event. Looking to go from 22nd to a top 5. Kinsey inside on Schatzer through 1 and 2. White flag coming out for your race leader off the exit of turn number 4. And Brennan Lacey has got to put 4 turns together. White flag is out. Your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Catalytic Recovery Big Block Modifieds Summer Season Week number 1 into 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag is out. Brennan Lacey gonna go to victory lane. Second will go to Brandon Templeton. Third at the line is gonna be Anthony Morano. Dean Reynolds home in 4th. Dylan Kinsey rounds out your top 5. Kurt Schatzer in 6th, Malachi Smith in 7th, Jeff Barker 8th, Terry Landis in 9th, and Stephen Goldner is going to round out your top 10. Let's make it official right now with your feature race results coming up on screen. Lacey, Templeton, Morano, your top 3, Reynolds, Kinsey, Schatzer, Smith, Barker, Landis, and Goldner. Shreves in 11th, Mosso 12th, Sharp, Goldner, Graham, your top 15. Then you go to Coffey in 16th, Ross, DeGood, Carinta, Butterfield, Krupa, Chapman, Salas, Mosso, Kemper, Spangler, and Grandy, the 27 drivers in tonight's main event. We wait for your top 3 to come down into victory lane, your Extreme eSpeed TV victory lane, and we will chat to your top 3. In fact, we're going to bring up 3rd place right now already. He is already out of the car. Anthony Morano home in 3rd place. Anthony, congratulations on this 3rd place finish. Boy, one that took a while to get going, but a good green flag stint there at the end. You must be happy with this 3rd place finish.
Oh, yeah, definitely happy. I was definitely a lot of work trying to get up there and trying to do anything with Brandon and Brennan, but I had nothing for either one of them.
But it was always going to be a tough deal to come from the middle of this pack, especially at a tighter racetrack like this. Were you sort of nervous those first 5 laps after what we've seen in the small block modified main event?
Oh, absolutely. I got 12X in small blocks. I got beat to death out there. It was just a disaster.
Well, 3rd place finish here tonight in New Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Big Block Modified Season Opener. A good way to start off this summer season here in week number 1. Anthony, before we let you go, of course, sponsors, shout out to all that good stuff, buddy. Who makes this happen for you in the 32 car to get around?
My wife, Sherry, Gears Unlimited, Dean Reynolds at Super Dirt Car Series, JT Screen Printing, everyone at Morano Racing. Can't do it without them.
All right, well done on 3rd place, Anthony. I'm sure we'll see you throughout the course of the season.
That's the game plan. Thank you.
There we go. Anthony Morano home in 3rd spot. We wait for Brandon Templeton, who we are just looking for to see if he's located anywhere around this part of the thing. And there he is, right on cue, just as we get the 31 machine of Brandon Templeton. Brandon, congratulations on this 2nd place finish, and probably one that got away from there in the end. You led a good part of that main event, but a late race restart, unfortunately, meant that you're now going to have to settle for 2nd. Brandon? You got a copy, Brandon? Rightio. Let's try it again. Brandon, you got a copy this time?
Got me now?
Yep, I certainly do.
Yeah, Lacey got on the outside of me there, and he was able to hold serve through turns 1 and 2, and 3 and 4. The high side was kind of preferred, and so he was able to squeak by there and make it happen. And so I'll take a second. First race of the week, and get 2 top 5s out of the modifieds with that many cars and random starts. You gotta thank your lucky stars.
Mate, with the new build of what we've had in the past week, your thoughts on the build, and have you done much testing in the modifieds?
No, I haven't really done any racing other than right now, but they kind of race like I expected, and kind of like the late model and some other cars I've driven the midget quite a bit. So the race is similar as far as the changes that were made, and I think it's pretty cool. The tracks are wearing good for the league, doing random and letting it wear through the night. It's putting on some pretty good racing at most tracks, and with the tire wear, that's kind of fun too, because you're not always on the exact same stuff at the end.
Well, mate, congratulations on this runner-up position here tonight. We look forward to seeing you out the course of this summer season with the Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder small blocks and big block modifieds. Brandon, before we let you go, of course, sponsors on this race car, people behind the scenes who gets this done for you and the team.
I got to thank Jay with Dirt Track Bank. Everything they're doing to support us and doing in real racing is really cool. Check out the dirttrackbank.com, and if you're in the Midwest, check out one of the Malvern Bank series. I got a 360 touring series and a super late model series. They're two different super late model series, so pretty cool. A lot of rail racing going on there. Mission 22, got your 6 Racing Network, Hammer Down Racing, Joe Kurt and Brian, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care. Everyone watching at home, you, Brett, for doing the broadcast, stepping up for us. It's going to be fun, and everyone working behind the scenes. Thanks a lot.
Brandon Templeton home in second spot. Will go down to victory lane and chat to the man that comes away with the win in week number 1. It is Brennan Lacey. Brennan, congratulations on this victory. You had to be patient there at the start of this race, and late in that race, you made a challenge for the race leader. Took one opportunity, and that's all you needed to get the win.
Yeah, they're at the beginning. I got into Cody there. I want to apologize to him. I didn't think my nose was up there that far. Yeah, I tried different lines. I tried going opposite of what Templeton was doing. I tried following him. I was like, I got to find something here. And lucky enough, the restarts, I was like, I'm getting decent starts here, so I'm going to have to do something on one of them to get a shot at it. And that last restart there, that last double file, I was able to stay up with him and stay to his outside going into 1. And I knew from there that I had a pretty set in stone that I could get there around them.
Mate, with the updates of what we've seen, and from what I've seen as well, that the tracks look a lot more racier. Just talk us through about the tyre wear and the different strategies that you as a driver have to make when it comes to trying to save your tyres.
Yeah, I'm known as a bottom guy. I've always have been, and I know last season before this update, I was able to run that car down on the bottom, and it would stick. I won a couple races here in a big block on the bottom, but I went in there, started warm-ups or something like that, and I didn't really like the feel of it. So, and I knew running through the slick is just going to wear it out, so I tried to just short slide it and get us in there to up there to the top and just let her eat.
Well, mate, congratulations on the win here tonight at Lincoln Speedway. Your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Big Block Modified Series main event winner. Brennan, before we let you go, of course, sponsors, shout-outs, who makes this happen for you in the 14 car to get around?
Yeah, big thanks to Vanderbilt Racing as always. Appreciate Goldner and Ross coming in tonight and running with us. Big shout out to Dirt Gangster Apparel. Go online, check them out for some new Dirt Gangster Apparel that just released. So go check them out. Appreciate you boys coming on doing the broadcast. Ross over at Velocity Race Designs.
All right, there we go. Brennan Lacey, ladies and gentlemen, home with the win here tonight in the Big Block Modified Series. That will do it for me here on Ultimate Dirt TV. We've still got more Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty, I'll bring you in just quickly before we turn off the mics. You headed over to the Auto Club Speedway. How you feeling going into the opening week there?
Yeah, we should be in for a treat. I'm absolutely looking forward to what's coming up here. This is the first Cup race we've had in the Coast to Coast Racing League since we began doing official asphalt races. And at Daytona for week 13, we had a photo finish that came down to the 1,000th decimal point that Joe Masso took home at Daytona. But I think we're going to be in for a treat here, Brett. Auto Club has multiple grooves, and we'll just see what goes down.
All right, well, still plenty of action still to come here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. But for myself and Ultimate Dirt TV, we will step aside here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. The Ultimate Dirt TV streams will shut down. The Coast to Coast Racing Network will still be live, so stick with us. More to come here on this Thursday Night Thunder.